So, Ruth, how would you like to play Three Question Thursday?
I don't know. Do I get to pick a card?
Well, that would probably be a good idea because I never know what I'm going to ask you. Okay, so I want to go back to the food prep thing because you did say
Okay.
you do prep for the next meal and then the next meal, like one at a time. And I love that.
Yeah.
But do you prep certain foods ahead of time so that you're ready to do the next meal? I know you do the breakfast
I,
cookies, which is, if you can quickly share that recipe.
all the breakfast cookies are so easy. And depending on how many really ripe bananas I have, you just, multiply it and divide the right amount of cookies. But this time I had enough to make 3 bananas. So I made 3 smashed bananas, 3 ounces of chopped walnuts, and 3 ounces of oats. And I add a little baking powder, a little baking soda, and a little salt, and some cinnamon. But then you just make those into 9 cookies, and then you've got your 3 oatmeal breakfast servings. And I can keep those in the freezer and grab them out, take them with me. When we went to Southern Utah last weekend, I took 4 packages. So every morning I just had my oatmeal and bananas and walnuts ready to go. And I didn't have to worry about breakfast while we were there.
But
So
now,
that's one thing I do.
aren't you short a half a protein on that?
Oh yeah, I'll have a string cheese with it, or a boiled egg or
Okay.
something.
Or you can
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
boiled egg. Yeah, perfect. Well, that will
yeah.
account for question number one. So, all right.
Okay.
So, what are we going to do for the rest then? What are you prepping ahead of time? Anything for your vegetables or
My
protein?
vegetables, I'm pretty lazy. I will get a head of cabbage and a bag of carrots, and I'll chop that up and cook it. And then I'll do a lot of things where I've got my cabbage and carrots and onions and celery, and I'll just plop some shredded chicken on top and call it dinner. I asked my buddy I send my food to. It's kind of boring. I just do it. But I'm trying to get so I will do more variety with my vegetables, like having corn and green beans and squash instead of just 10 ounces of spinach. So, but I stick with easy things. I grab a bag of coleslaw mix and I will stir fry that and crack an egg on top and throw on some cashews, and boom, you've got a nice little stir fry dinner. It's
That
easy.
sounds pretty amazing. I've
Oh, it's
never done
delicious.
that.
Yeah, the cocoa aminos, little, yeah, I'll send you that
What?
recipe. That's good.
Cocoa
And
aminos?
cocoa aminos, are those the things we can use that are sugar free? I can't remember. I use them like a condiment kind of thing, but I'll look on and see. That's
Okay, well,
like,
wait a minute. So we've got
wait.
Coconut
coleslaw.
aminos.
Pardon? We have
Is
Coconut
coleslaw,
aminos.
Yeah.
aminos. We have aminos. This is liquid, right?
Uh-huh. And
Okay.
it just kind of
Like soy
flavors
sauce.
it. It makes it taste like Chinese food. It
Oh,
just
wow.
flavors it really. Yeah, it's good
The
stuff.
things I learn
But
on starting out bright.
oh, and I'll put my tablespoon of sesame oil in there to stir fry the coleslaw mix. So I
So,
just do easy things. I put a couple of butternut squash in the microwave and cook those and scrape it all out and have it ready to go. And I will cut up a jicama and make French fries out of a jicama in my air fryer. That's kind of fun. And oh, thank you, Wendy, for explaining that.
coconut, coconut amino. It tastes like soy sauce. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really good, but there's no sugar in it. It's just,
Okay.
anyway, it's a good thing. What's something else I do? Oh, here's my easiest, and this probably just sounds nasty to people, but I'm just great to get a can of black beans and a can of chopped up tomatoes and dump them all in a bowl, weigh them, of course, and put in a little salsa and use sour cream for my fat and just have a nice bowl of beans and tomatoes and salsa. It's a fast meal. And I love, everybody's all standby the rotisserie chicken and shred that up. I have my chicken in little packages weighed out. So that's handy to do.
Well,
And
that little dish that you're talking about, you could travel with that.
oh, for sure. I love, and this is me old school, I love a tuna fish, cucumber, and chopped apple salad with mayo for the dressing. And that's a real standby. I do that a lot because it's easy to take an apple and a can of tuna fish and a cucumber with you when you travel. When
That's
when
good.
we go through security, they're always fighting. all my stash of all my things. Like, you got a cucumber in this suitcase? I said, yes, I do.
Wow. We just got to get used to that. And we're just got to make our way. Like,
That's right.
this is the new normal, people. We're going to eat well and we're going to pack ahead of time. So here's my final question. What is the resource? It could be a book, mantra, anything that you would recommend to anybody else that you have found on this journey, besides the book of Bright Light?
Yeah. I think probably my most helpful resource are the big books, the 12-step, the food for thought. They have all kinds of little books that you can read daily. I also love a scripture resource, to read daily from scriptures. I think probably my favorite resource of all is for me to just be able to pray every day and ask for God's help to make this work. And when I'm struggling, not be afraid to text somebody or call somebody, because it was my isolation that got me into this mess. And I got to make sure I don't make that same mistake again. So,
somebody, actually, Nikki Giroux, who I interviewed a long time ago, she told me this from the 12 steps. There was a mantra that was, you're only as sick as your secrets. And that really speaks to isolation. And I believe that's true. So when you are, when you're in that ditch, when you are isolating, it's at the time you don't want to talk about it that really is the time that you need to do something. And if you can't talk about it, maybe journal about it. At least go, out and do something. Here, I want to point this out about the coconut aminos. It's made from coconut sap sugar, so technically it's not compliant. So here is what I would say. If
it's the fifth ingredient.
If it's the fifth ingredient, we might be able to get away with it technically from the book, but I do see that. And for someone who that may feel like it's triggered, exactly, Ruth. If you're triggered with anything, I brought up, I don't know if I could make the breakfast cookies. There's a reason why in 3.5 years I have not had regular NMF cookies. It's the shape of them.
I'll make them square.
Yeah, there you go. Just, I don't know what it is. There's something about it. So
I have done the same recipe.
To be a trigger,
I've done the same recipe and just cooked it in a sprayed bowl in the microwave. And, it's probably like a little muffin or something, cake.
And that works too.
Yeah, if muffin makes you feel better, do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
whatever makes you feel better.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I didn't know about your sister. I'm so sorry for your loss. I know that's a long time ago, but you always have your sister close at heart. So my sympathy on that tragedy.
Thank you. It's very kind.
And, thank you so much for everything you've shared tonight, your story, your information. You're just a wonderful person to get to know. I'm so glad that our paths have crossed. And thank you so much for playing 3-Question Thursday.
Okay, and you have to tell them how last night I thought I slept through this whole thing. So
okay. I get a call I'm in bed at 11:30 and Ruth is just so sad and crying almost because she thought she missed the whole interview. So here we are.
I fell asleep, but I woke up in a panic. I'm like, it's 9:30. Oh my gosh. So yeah. Luckily it was only Wednesday.
Yes. Well, thank goodness. Thank you so much. And thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Stay bright.
Thank you. Bye-bye.